this video, guys, a bit of a different one. So, I do want to talk about how gaming's felt a little bit different lately. Not in a bad sense, of course, right? I still love gaming myself, as you guys can see. Love playing Marvel Rivals and whatnot. However, I kind of just want to go down memory lane, right? Want to kind of reminisce a little bit. Just in a bit of a different video. It is late night, of course, when I am recording this. So I wouldn't mind just going down memory lane a little bit, right? If you guys do enjoy this, of course, please let me know. Because I will not mind making more videos like this. But gaming back in the day used to just feel so much more different than now. Nowadays it feels not necessarily forced, but it doesn't feel as carefree as it used to. It almost feels very, I guess, forced in a sense, right? Like, usually when I have free time, I do love to hop on some games. There are some other games I like to play outside of Marvel Rivals. And sometimes I'll be sitting there just staring at Steam, kind of thinking about what to play. And all of a sudden, I just either won't play anything, or it'll just be extremely tough to pick a game because there's just, it's almost like there's too many options out there. And, back in the day when you're younger, you come home from school, you hop onto a set game and you play that game for seemingly ages, right? Whether it be Call of Duty, whether it be Star Wars, right, whatever the case may be. And it is kind of sad that it's not really like that anymore, right? Yeah, there was just something different about games back then. Of course, people talk about stuff like microtransactions and whatnot. And I guess that maybe plays a bit of a factor, right? There's not too many single-player games out there, or even multiplayer games where you can kind of just play it to play it. Some games kind of have borderline pay-to-win options, right? Where you pay for a certain card, or you pay for a certain bundle, whatever the case may be, and that card or that bundle is well above the competition. I know in games like Clash Royale, right now they have a card called, I think, like a Hero Mini Packer or something, and that card seems to be almost destroying everyone. So it is kind of crazy when you think about it, and you think about just how much more difficult it becomes if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of cash or wants to do free to play, right? It just becomes a whole lot more different. And back in the day you have all these different story games, right? And we still have some good games nowadays, right? God of War, Spider-Man. But back then it was just different, whether it's nostalgia, whether it's the graphic choices, right? Sometimes you look at a game from back in the day, Lego games in particular, I know are pretty big nostalgia factors, and you go, man, where is this aesthetic gone, right? You look at Lego games nowadays, they're not really too nostalgic like they would be nowadays, so it is kind of sad when you think about it. And yeah, it's kind of hard to get that feeling back, right? Of course, we're all getting older, we all have jobs, we all have, things to provide for, bills to pay. Maybe it is just the fact that we're growing up, and in a sense, we view gaming as these reels and TikToks and stuff online about don't waste your time with video games, blah 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 blah. Yet you see someone making a bunch of money with said video games. So it is kind of a hard thing to grasp, right? And even as I'm playing now, don't get me wrong, I love playing some Marvel Rivals. But there are times when, I'll get home from work or I'll have work later in the day and it's kind of hard because I'll be sitting here playing this game that I like so much, yet, you kind of fall into the trap of trying to play games optimally, right? What's the fastest way I can get Lord status? What's the fastest way I can get competitive status? What's the fastest way I can complete this puzzle in this game, right? And it is kind of something that's ruined video games, is the whole trying to play games optimally when if you play the hero you want to play or you play a puzzle and figure it out yourself without a YouTube guide, yeah, it takes maybe 3-4 times longer. That ultimately makes the game much more fun. And I know this is a different type of video, which is pretty funny. What the heck, there's an Iron Man up here. But I don't know, I just it's late night, I'm kind of just in that zone, right, in that mood to just reminisce a little bit. Especially, heck, maybe in a few years' time I'll be reminiscing about playing Marvel Rivals, and if Marvel Rivals is even still around, we'll be reminiscing about it when the game used to have however many heroes, and now it has, it may have a bunch more heroes, right? Who knows? But yeah, it's just one of those things I wanted to kind of, I don't know, just have a nice little chat with you guys about. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say in the comments about gaming when you were younger. Maybe you're still young yourself, and maybe gaming is still relatively new and nostalgic for you. But I guess this video is, like I said before, it is a bit different. I don't know if you guys will enjoy this. You guys are gonna have to let me know. Maybe if you enjoy it, I might make more like this, but I guess in a sense, it is kind of just the mood I'm in right now. Feeling pretty nostalgic, and don't get me wrong, like I keep saying, I love playing Marvel Rivals. But sometimes, you get home from work and whatnot, and it is almost like you have to kind of force yourself to play the game sometimes, or just any game in general. And don't get me wrong, gaming isn't just the only hobby that I have. However, it's a pretty prominent one that I do like. And yeah, I mean, there's really nothing much else to say other than it's just not the same as it was back in the day. And again, games have changed. We've gone from more kind of single player solo to multiplayer, which is fine, but I always find nowadays I can never really spend more than maybe an hour or two on a single game without feeling like I'm wasting my time, which is kind of a sad thing when you think about it, right? I feel like it should never really feel like that. When you play a game, you should play it because you want to play it. You should play it to essentially escape, right? And I know there's a lot of argument about that. Playing video games to escape reality, and you really shouldn't do that, but I always feel like it's not necessarily a bad thing because it's a stress reliever, right? You play whatever game you play, perfect build or how much you'd get per heist or whatever the case may be. You kind of just play it, and I guess, like I said, as you get older, you find new games, different things, and sometimes you play a certain mission too many times where you feel that you're just wasting time. And that's probably the main thing that you feel when you play games nowadays, is it just feels like a waste of time for whatever reason, right? And it's kind of a sad feeling, because you used to put hours into a game, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that game just doesn't hit the same anymore, right? And of course, you know, games get outdated and XYZ, right? I don't know. I really am just in a pretty reminiscent mood right now. I feel like I've said the same thing about 5 times over, but I really am just trying to hammer the point through of how different gaming has been. How different it has felt. Now, I'm not saying we can't ever get back to that point of playing games. Now, I'm not saying we can't ever get back to the point of playing games like how we used to. However, it is a lot more tough. Again, different commitments, we've all grown since we were kids, so what is going on here? Yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's just sad. I think the type of games we play as well are a little bit different too. Like right now right now I'm playing Marvel Rivals. Back in the day, I would not be playing a game like this. Back in the day, I would be playing maybe a liquor game or something. Whereas if I played that same liquor game now, it probably doesn't hit the same. It is probably more nostalgia driven. But man, it's kind of sad because I miss those times, right? I miss those times of just playing because I wanted to play a game, not feeling like I had to grind a certain way, or grind, you know, the most optimal way. Again, it's kind of a sad thing to think about, but it's just how it is. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy this style of video, right? Because this is a lot different to what I would usually record for you guys, but I do not know what happened there. And yeah, I guess I'm just in that mood, right? I know we still have the road to Lord Hella going. And whatnot, but again, a different video. Just wanted to see if you guys enjoyed it. I might start doing some more like this too. But yeah, I mean, there's really nothing much for me to talk about right now. Kind of just gonna try and finish this game out because we're kind of capping it a little bit. Especially after we got smoked in that first round. But they have all their ultimates, which is a bit scary. I accidentally just did not mean to do that. Oh, I nearly got that Adam too, but I think we lose this one. But yeah, so thoughts on gaming when you were younger, if you are kind of like a middle-aged fella, and just what memories the nostalgic gaming kind of brings back. But as always, if you liked this cozy ramble, that was a bit all over the place, feel free to subscribe for more late night whisper videos. No pressure, just if you want more calm moments together. But as always guys, that'll do it for this one. Hopefully you all did enjoy the different style of video today. And as always,